The last figures we saw, which was about the middle of March, we had about 83% of people been paid, which isn't good considering in the previous year we got up to 97% of people paid by the end of December in 2014. So we've still got a lot of people worried financially, worried about when the money's going to come in, given where the industry is in state of commodity prices. And even those that have been paid, which obviously is now the majority, they are still uncertain whether their payment is correct. So there's quite a mental challenge at the moment for the industry to move from the 2015 claim into a 2016 application thinking mode. The main issues that happened last year was obviously going from an online system to a paper system. Obviously then we've had delays in the processing of those paper forms. That's then manifested itself into obviously late payments, and then obviously we've now got some issues around the accuracy of the payments that are being issued by the RPA, because many people feel that they've been underpaid compared to what they expected the payments to be. In terms of this year, the application process is slightly separate from last year. I think that there is overhang from last year because people are worried that their payment last year wasn't correct, and therefore the data that was used to generate the payment is incorrect, and we're seeing some of that data issue coming through onto the claim forms now. So, and I think also last year, because it's overrun into this year, I think there's a lot of pressure all round the system, people uncertain, confused about how the RPA are coping, how they're going to cope with things. This year is a transition year. Paper last year was forced upon the situation. I want to get back to 70-80% of people going online to submit the claims. A lot of advantages of that. This year, yes, is a stepping stone, I think, for next year. It's not the finesse final version, so we'd certainly be looking for some improvements coming in through from next year, and the experiences and feedback from members this year will help with that development in readiness for this time next year. Certainly with the payment side of things, we won't see any sort of changes per se on that, but in terms of the application process, which we're now in the start of, we are looking at more of an online system, so that hopefully that will reduce the time spent by the RPA per claim to process that claim, so that hopefully we'll get payments out the door in the majority of cases before Christmas.
Obviously there's been a lot of bad weather and flooding. I think someone else brought it up. Is that going to affect people's applications at all?
Yes, I mean certainly there will be some people out there that their claims will be directly affected by the area of land that they've got on the ground. For example, if a watercourse moves significantly and takes away eligible land from last year, then that may impact on what they can claim on that field this year. From an NFU's point of view, we've lobbied very hard for the pragmatic view taken for flooded land last year to continue for this year, which it has, and that's in the guidance. But there are still a number of concerns around those people who've got a significant amount of debris, rubble, stone, etc. on land, which clearly isn't earth at the moment, and we're still waiting for some response from the RPA on that. I think the first thing is to allow yourself plenty of time. Don't put yourself under pressure. The 16th of May deadline is unlikely to change, therefore you've got to work back from that. What we'd like people to do if they're using agents, advisors, is to obviously engage with them early, get time in the diary, prepare for those meetings, appointments, and just read the guidance that's available and what's come through the posts sooner rather than later, because we want people to get the claim forms right. And equally we want people to start thinking through it and making sure that they fully understand it. They may not have quite got their claim form right last year, so don't assume that last year's claim was completed correctly. And until we get through the first cycle of 2015, without all the challenges, appeals and so forth, people really truly won't know whether they did it right in the first year. I'm not suggesting people did it wrong in the first year, but actually it's good to start from perhaps a clean sheet of paper, take the time, go through the guidance, which has been improved, consolidated, and go from there.